Me a slice of the cake, Blakk Rasta can't wait. Feed them fly up the gate. Positiveness me meditate. Yeah, you know it's I am Mason, Fire Mason representing. Yeah, and you're listening to Blakk Rasta, keeping it real. Stay focused. Told you.
Blakk Rasta, you are a citizen vigil.
This is the voice of the Patriot.
Yabo.
And here we speak truth to power. This is our daily editorial. And the very first story we are looking at today is taken from My Joy Online, and it says works on Odo River drainage project terminated over contractor failure. And this is by a minister. Which minister is talking? And the source is Graphic Online. I read. Works on the construction of the Odo River drainage system has been terminated due to poor performance by the contractor, the Minister of Works, Housing and Water Resources. Minister Kenneth Gilbert J has told Parliament. He told the drainage, he said that the drainage system was being implemented under the Greater Accra Resilient. I take it again. He said the drainage system was being implemented under the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development carried project. Now the project, which commenced in July 2024, comprised the construction of a 1.5 kilometer box culvert structure from Nima, Paloma to the Odo River. It was to be executed within a duration of 18 months. However, due to poor performance, the contract for that work has been terminated, the minister said. Responding to a question on the floor of Parliament, Mr. Ajay said at the point of termination, there were still some ongoing works at critical stages which required immediate completion. The ministry therefore sought approval from the World Bank to immediately complete those critical works while the repackaging of the project continued. These critical works included demolishing the outfall wall of the Odo Channel to canal. In fact, channel, yes, it's channel, that's not canal. Channel to prevent sediment build-up and flooding. Complete construction of drain downstream to connect to the Odo Channel and construct drainage section upstream that was stripped and demolished, he said. The minister disclosed this when he answered a question by the Member of Parliament for Clote Koli, Dr. Zenoto Ajima Rollins, on the timeline for the completion of the construction of the Odo River drainage system. Now, my brother, my sister, In my country, government contracts are mostly undermined. That is where we loot more, through government contracts. We don't love our country. Something that requires just about 20 cedis to do, we go for 20 million. And even with that, we are unable to execute it professionally. Look at the roads we have. They are giving us contracts to people who are supposed to be responsible and competent. After completion, I wonder if there's anything called an inspection. If it's an election year, yes, we'll see politicians go there with cameras so they can get some political points. My brother, my sister, right after the so-called completion, let us pray that it does not rain for even 2 seconds. That road folds up like a mat on the doorway of Babylon. It hurts. Yet in China, they build roads. Earthquakes and tsunamis come and the roads are still there. You go to Europe, they build roads. And those roads, even when there are fires, those roads stand the test of time. Yet with us, even common sea breeze is enough to wipe off our roads. What is wrong with us? Who is doing this to us? Where are the ministers in charge? Recently, I saw Agboja, Honorable Road Minister Agboja, going around chastising some contractors. It's a good thing. But if it is for the cameras, then we are only tickling ourselves and laughing. How often do we do this? Do we take it upon ourselves to test the quality of materials to be used in our road building and other such exercises before they are laid down? Or we just allow them to do just anything and later we come and say we are inspecting? What really are we doing? Can I say this again? My brother, something like a road, when it's being built, I think that it will be very prudent on our parts to make sure that we check what exactly the material is that is going to be laid on our roads. For cars, pedestrians, vehicles to drive and walk on. We don't wait until it is done, then we come there and do a ceremony, right after which the least rain wipes it off like a mat in the doorway of Babylon. My brother, my sister, do we do that? I'm just asking, do we do that at all? If we give building contracts to people to build schools and all that, where are our national quantity surveyors? Do we make sure that the right materials are procured and used on the buildings? Or we are just interested in our huge kickbacks to continue to saddle the nation? Look at the buildings that Nkrumah built. 1 million years after Kwame Nkrumah died, those buildings are still standing the test of time. Look at the roads that Kwame Nkrumah built. If you haven't seen any, go on the motorway. How many years now? We are now trying to do a certain kind of renovation, if you may call it that. My brother, my sister, it hurts me when people loot. Government gives contracts to cliques, party members who don't have an idea the difference between a shovel and a pickaxe. They are those who are giving government contracts, and in turn they sell that to other incompetent contractors who know nothing for their kickback. Courtesy de Japan, we are getting to know more of this. What are we doing to ourselves? Should we bring back the days of Rawlins' so-called revolution and shoot and kill these people? Should we shoot these animals? Should we shoot them and serve them to the vultures on the Ashaiman Bola? Should we? Sometimes I get so angry. I am so thankful that I'm not J.J. Rawlins. I am sure I would have picked up arms to do something that is untoward. My brother, my sister, it hurts. We lose so much money to corruption. We are the most religious nation in the world, yet we are the most corrupt. What a paradox. It's so paradoxical of us as a people to ironically sit down and play holy, yet we are the most stinkingly corrupt people. What is wrong with us? Today there's a minister here who says, you know what? Despite all the millions that the NPP government wasted on the so-called Kole Lagoon and some other such lagoon, the Odo River that we are supposed to be building, we gave it to the contractor, and the contractor did a poor job, and we decided to take him to the cleaners, and we sacked him. From that time, we have been sitting down drinking attire. We have been sitting down there smoking shisha, waiting until every Ghanaian forgets about this project so we can steal money. Is that what it is? Thanks to Parliament, thanks to the minority in Parliament, my brother, my sister, some of these things are coming to light. Oh yes, we are having some of these ministers come to answer. What are we doing to our nation? We wait until floods kill 1 million people. Then we run around giving explanations, giving alibis. What a nasty, stinking people. Dirty, stinking people. Sometimes I wish Rawlins was still around with his gun. Tie all these guys to the firing squad stakes. Shoot them and kill them. It hurts. I hate blood. That is why I don't even eat animals. But sometimes I am tempted to think that the answer to these Ghanaian animals lies in the barrel of the gun. Now this minister at least has been honest to tell us that, you know what, the contractor was doing a poor job, so we took it off. But the contractor needed to continue and complete whatever that explanation is. It made boring reading. When I was reading it, I was almost falling asleep. Unnecessary technical things. They write these things as if they are talking to people who are professors. I almost fall asleep. Yes, I almost fell asleep. How many Ghanaians are going to understand this? Upstream, low stream, midstream, and the air is flying with a cockroach, and the cockroach was swallowed by a crow, and the crow was crying, quah, 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 quah. How many Ghanaians would understand this nonsense? All we understand is that there's a flood and people are dying. All we understand is that the Odo River is still stinkingly dirty. All we understand is that we have a problem. And the problem has to be sorted out. We don't want jargons. Too much jargons. If you are that learned, go and sit in the museum. It hurts. Please, let's stop hurting our nation. When it's time to serve, please serve. Stop the wanton stealing. Stop it. Posterity is catching up on us and will judge us so harshly. It hurts me, my brother. So this is the nation that my children are going to inherit. Years after Blakk Rasta is gone, in my grave I shall cry that I had the opportunity to change things, at least via the microphone given to me by grace. And I shut up because I was politically aligned. Shegedamburuba. Now the next thing I want to look at is taken from Ghana Web. And it's interesting. I need you to come along and let's look at it. Yes, it is interesting. And if I say it is interesting, it is certainly interesting. Okay, let me skip the Ghana Web story for now and go to Graphic Online. It says, floods. President Mahama leads Ghana in prayer. And I read, barely days after floodwaters tore through Accra and other parts of the country, claiming lives and sweeping away homes and livelihoods, Ghana paused yesterday to give thanks. A national ceremony whose usual air of celebration was tempered by the raw memory of loss. Oh, what an intro. This is beautiful writing. I like this writing. And it's written by this person called Kester Aburam Kuranchi. Beautiful writing. President John Dramani Mahama addressing political, religious, traditional, and security leaders gathered at the forecourt of the State House for the country's second National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. Religious, traditional, and security leaders gathered at the forecourt of the State House for the country's second National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, acknowledged that the nation had not gathered because its problems were solved, but to reflect, give thanks, and recommit to rebuilding. And this is clear. The president said, we are not here to thank God because our problems have all been solved, but we are here to reflect, give thanks, and recommit to rebuilding. That's what he said, rebuilding. It means we have lost something. What have we lost? In the 8 years of the irresponsible rule of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the plethora of lies they inundated the Ghanaian ears with. My brother, my sister, Mahama is rebuilding. But please, let's not be complacent. Everybody's clapping for Mahama. This is the time to do more. It's not the time to rest on our oars. That is why I like Katanga, University of Science and Technology, University Hall. Their motto is, we rest not. The Bible says, as quoted from the utterances of Jesus Christ, he said, pray without ceasing. True? My brother, my sister, let us never stop work until the work is done. Let us never stop doing what we're supposed to do until the work is done. No amount of prayer will do the work if we don't put our shoulders to the wheel. And Mr. President understands that. Look how much work Mr. President has done, unprecedentedly, in contemporary Ghana. Nana Addo messed up the country. Agenda 111 became nonsensical. 419. Bawumia went around commissioning toilets and telling us lies. Everywhere he went, he had an encyclopedia of lies under his armpit. Today he says he wants to be president. What a joker. You think we are idiots? We have seen what you have done with the Ghana that we bequeathed to you. We have seen how you messed us up in 8 years. We became a laughing stock to the whole of Africa and the world. We saw how our people ran away in their droves. We saw how you appointed incompetent people to rob our nation. God will punish you guys. That is why today Nanado cannot even walk well. 8 million people would have to hold him before he walks. Such an irresponsible president. When I speak Ghana. I speak my children. I speak my pain. Today, I could have gone to live in America. I was given an opportunity to be a citizen. I kicked it away. It's not too late. I could still go and say, you know what? I've thought about it again. And I want to be. Subhanallah. I could go live in Canada. They would embrace me because they need somebody like me. I could as well go and live in the oil-rich countries. At least with the little Arabic that I speak, they would embrace me. But no, there was a reason I was born into this country. There was a reason I walked this piece of land. It is for me to make it better. If I can't make it better, let me not make it worse. That is why I get angry when I have to speak against irresponsible leadership. We spoke to them. They never listened to us. They were power drunk. Today they are out of power. They think they can talk to us. Yeah, in Ethiopia. Look how they treated the country. As if it was their personal backyard property. They treated Ghana like Leopold II treated Leopoldville. Today called the Congo. OILP. My brother, my sister, we saw a woman park money under her bed until the Bank of Ghana started to fret and sweat. Why? Have they relocated the Bank of Ghana to somebody's bedroom? Hey, we saw Galamsey swallow us up like the whale swallowed Jonah. Or was it the tilapia that swallowed Jonah? I don't know. I wasn't there. But there was a swallow. We saw the wanton disrespect they meted out to Ghanaians. Today, President Mahama is doing the second edition of our prayer. I wish there was a day also reserved at least for national patriotism, to recognize citizens who have laid down their lives for this pretty nation. The bus stop boys are doing a great job. That's patriotism. They started it, doing it on their own, expecting nothing from anybody. The journalists who laid down their lives to report nothing but the truth without any political alignment are patriotic. Those who bought Christmas trees whilst they were in power, their conscience will deal with them. Those who hid money under their beds, their conscience will deal with them. Those who went around commissioning toilets and telling a plethora of lies to the average Ghanaian, their conscience will deal with them. That's if they have any conscience at all. Those who did Galamsey, today they are licking the dirty floors of our courthouses, giving thanks to the demons that they worship. Chairman Wuntu, I'm talking to you. You go to jail. All those we gave the chance to serve us, and they ended up stealing from us. There's a roll call. You will all go in there. All the pastors who were politically aligned, helping the politicians to steal. The day of reckoning is here. You will all be slaughtered one after the other with the sword of Zorro. All of you. Some of you will get cancer of the scrotum. Some of you dirty political thieving women will get cancer of the vagina, cancer of the clitoris, cancer of the vulva. And some of you wicked, dirty Prophets who only prophesied when your stomachs were filled with politically stolen money. You get cancer of the stomach. Your intestines shall become wire. You will vomit blood and pus. What kind of a country is this? We spend money to educate you, only for you to come and prove to us that, in fact, you have a PhD in theocracy. Better still, theology. Jesus. Mapon, oh yeah.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
This is 3FM.
Oh God.
This is 3FM. This is 3FM.
Oh God.
I love Ghana and nothing would ever stop me from loving Ghana. Thanks so much to the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, instilling the discipline of patriotism in a lot of Ghanaians in these times. There is no better time in contemporary times to be a proud Ghanaian than in these times. Good afternoon to you, Abdullahi Sakra. How are you doing, my brother? Long time no see.
No for religion.
Today anya skapide.
Sometimes
I say anya juete.
we fast.
Oya kaimika krata.
Unlovely name. This is my Ghana.
Hey, now which way? My name Blakk Rasta, Ghana's number one. Now, before the onset of the alarm clock, the African black cock was our most trusted alarm clock. It would crow at the right time, not 1 minute late, not 1 second early, waking up not only the master or the mistress who fed it, but the rest of the community to be up and doing. Oh, remember what we used to tell each other? Early in the morning tomorrow when we hear the crow of the African black cock, you must know it's me, myself, and I, saying thank you for everything you've done for me today, and of course, previously. Yet when the festivities came, we're so much in a hurry to dehumanize the African black cock. What did we do? We assassinated it and served its corpse on our place, which we proudly called food. This is the African history class with a big fat, thick, tall, standing erect and very hairy every morning like the cedar of Lebanon, surrounded by the beautiful blue blistering pinnacles of lapis lazuli, the African black cock. And our African proverb of the day. Oh my God. And it's coming from our ancestors in East Africa, our Swahili-speaking ancestors. They say, and I quote, and you know I love Swahili, Unguvuya Vilihiko Akilni. Can I say it again? Unguvuya Unwili Iko Akilni. You know what that means? The strength of the body is in the mind. In Latin, we say mens sano corpore sano. A sound mind is in a sound body. My brother, yesterday a friend of mine called me and said he's no longer having an erection. He says he goes into the bedroom and he tries, no erection. On sorry. Osiwaya as in on sorry. He said, Black, I'm calling you to show me what I can do. Because Ohiam Papa mirror or complain and to Buamai. Also on sorry. I asked Osor Kakrana, why Bibiuma? Also on Sorkra. Why ya? Also, wifey ya on sorry. See, ready. So I didn't want to jump into any medications. So I asked him, how's work going? He said, Charlie, with the work, the work there, what they do? I say, how about salary? He said, for 17 months now, no salary. Nanyin. Oh, sorry. 17 months, no salary. Sorry. Hey, my brother, you don't have a sound mind. How do you expect this thing to have a sound mind? You crazy? Let them pay you all the 17 months and add the 18th month in advance. Obe sorry. Miss Obe sorry there. Obey there, Abuatan. My brother, a lot of your sicknesses are embedded in your lack of sound mind. You see, Accra, or see what money mamindano. Bentua, Abua, your friend of Bentuano, and Panituda. They be abeti for na Accra no also. Mommy, Aquara was umamindano. Bentua, a dear friend of Bentua, dear, and power to that. They be an air pumpy. Puss. Why? My brother, my sister, you can never have a sound body if the mind is not sound. And a sound mind can never be in an unsound body. They work like Siamese twins. You are going to write an examination and you don't have a sound mind. How can you pass? Let alone in the bedroom. Do you know how much energy you need to have an erection? I think women need to consider this. Hey, the amount of energy you need to have one erection is enough to power the whole of Accra. Electricity, do you know that? So when a man has an erection, please thank him. A lot of people take it for granted. Before Abiam can have one erection, it's like it's going to light up the whole of the city. Women don't need an erection today, do you? You don't need one. Men do. It's not easy. Any which way. This is the African history class.
This is 3FM.
And today we are taking you all the way to South Africa. Today, my brother, my sister, we're going to be talking about the Zulu people. They have a certain tradition they call the Kaniyisa. The Kaniyisa. And Kaniyisa is spelled K-H-A-N-Y-I-S-A. Kaniyisa. Now, Kaniyisa is all about twins born into a Zulu family. They believe that the twins are connected spiritually and physically. In traditional Zulu culture, twins are historically viewed with intense spiritual anxiety, believed to share a single soul, split between the two bodies. So whatever happens to this one is supposed to happen to the other twin. Sometimes the other twin may become spiritually bigger and take whatever belongs to the other twin for himself and drain off all the energy in this twin. So you see one twin prospering and the other one is growing leaner and leaner. It's all because of this spirit. For instance, if they are both supposed to achieve 10, 5 must go to one and the other 5 must go to the other because they were equally created in the same spirit, according to the Zulu culture. If one twin decides to get 8, he will continue to draw the other 2 to himself and leave the other one dry, and this one will die. So when twins are born, in every Zulu home, they are separated spiritually. They make incisions on their skin. They put concoctions in there to separate them and give them their distinct destinies. That means whatever you want to become, you become. You are not tied to this other person where you are limited to the same destiny. No. That is what is called Kaniyisa. That is why in the past you saw one twin always doing well and the other one so sick. The other one was drawing the energy of this other twin. To separate them, the Zulus organize what is known as the Kaniyisa. They make incisions on them and then they put a lot of herbs, bath them in some concoctions, and then they separate them. Their frequencies are now different, and they grow up as 2 distinct individuals with separate destinies. Today, we decided to take you all the way to Zululand.
Look up production.
My name is certainly Blakk Rasta, Ghana's #1. Now, in the time of the day today, we're going to be playing you something from Omar Johnson. Omar Johnson has something to tell us about Bill Cosby. And I need you to open your ears and listen with rapt attention. This is the tape of the day.
ya waleta matamsanga. Yabo!
Bill Cosby today, March 23rd, 2026. Bill Cosby was sued once again. The lawsuit was entered in 2023. So the lawsuit was 3 years ago. The verdict was today, and it was a civil suit. There's an old white woman who claims Bill Cosby gave her 2 pills, drugged her with 2 white pills, and she was a waitress at a restaurant. She was not a celebrity. She was just a waitress. But she claims Bill Cosby gave her 2 pills. I believe they knocked her out. She alleges sexual assault. The problem with the case, and I don't trivialize violence against women, as I've said before. I don't care if they're black, white, red, green, or purple. No man has the right to take advantage of a female. The problem I'm having with this art is it happened 54 years ago in 1972. How can you prove that anybody sexually assaulted someone 54 years ago? What evidence, what DNA, what witnesses, what circumstantial evidence do you have to prove Bill Cosby did this to this waitress 54 years ago? I can't say he didn't. None of us can, because we were not there. Our question is, as it relates to justice, how can you prove that he did this 54 years ago? And then the other question is, from a white privilege standpoint, Art, why did this woman wait 51 years? Because her lawsuit was 3 years ago. So she waited a half a century plus 1. She waited a half a century plus 1 year to file a civil suit when she could have had Bill Cosby locked up and put under a jail back when this happened. Now, I understand trauma. I'm trained in psychology. My doctorate is clinical psychology. I understand. If I'm one of Cosby's lawyers, I would have to ask the woman in question, why did you wait 51 years to file this suit? Now, Art, it also gets even more interesting. Why? Because the same thing New York City did that led to the conviction of Sean Puffy Combs is the same thing that Los Angeles did that led to this successful civil suit being levied against Bill Cosby. What am I talking about? Los Angeles had recently, Art, created a window where survivors of sex abuse could sue their perpetrator in civil court for crimes that took place a long time ago. Remember, we talked about this when we talked about Diddy, that New York adult survivors window law that said if you got assaulted sexually by anybody, no matter how long ago, we're going to give you a 1 or 2 year window to bring that civil suit. And I allege that they created that window to take down Sean Combs.
This
and I'm going to allege
3FM.
right now, Art, that Los Angeles created the exact same window to help take down Bill Cosby. The
This
woman
is
won
3FM.
19.2.
Well, you heard it live and colored. He goes into the Epstein files, where some people, white as they are, seem to be going free after raping little children and much more. He's comparing the two situations. Your guess is as good as mine.